So far, we have seen systems of equations. We have seen linear inequalities, but this is the first time we're seeing a system of linear equalities. Before we do any more, I need to give a shout out to Susie in Poland. All right? Susie in Poland. That's all the information I'm going to give. Shout out, Susie. We miss you. When I look back at the empty seat, a little tear comes down the cheek. All right, back to the math. So, when we had a system of equations, right, what we were doing is we're like, there's this line, and right here's the answer, right? Just to oversimplify a system of equations. And when we had graphing an inequality, we had something like, we had this line and we shaded part of it, right? So here's how this is going to work. We're going to have two lines with shading, and to solve a system of the inequalities, it's going to be where those two regions overlap. So instead of where two lines overlap, we're looking where two regions overlap, okay? Really, to simplify it, we're going to graph two inequalities and see where things cross, all right? Pencil is your friend on this to get real nice shading. I've got to, finagle it on the iPad a little bit. So let's get to it. These are all in slope-intercept form. So I like to focus on one inequality at a time. So my top inequality, I have a y-intercept of 3 and a slope of -2. Am I going to be solid or dashed? We're going to be dashed. So I need a dashed line here. And I can use some colors here, but on the key and stuff, I just use pencil. And then I'm going to test. I like always testing the origin. So if I slap the origin into my first inequality, I get 0 is less than 3. Is that true?
Yes.
0 is less than 3. So the origin needs to be in my shaded region. Let's see if I can make that more shady. Less opaque. Oh, it doesn't let me mess with it. All right. So down there, okay? Now, let's go to the second one. I have a y-intercept of -2 and a slope of -1/3. And that's going to give me this line. Again, it's going to be dashed. You guys see why it's going to be dashed? Because it's just a less than. So then I'm going to test the origin. And 0 is less than -2. Is that true? No, so I need to shade the part that's not in the origin. All right. And can we see where the two shaded parts are going to cross?
Yeah.
What color does this make? Red and blue makes purple. So that is the region in which my two inequalities cross. We seeing that? So another thing I'm asking you to do in those notes is to pull off 3 points that satisfy the system. So any 3 points work. This is just 0, -4 works. 2, 3, 4, -5, -2 works. And let's say -5 billion, -1. That'll work. That last one's a little crazy. You don't have to do that if you don't want. But are you seeing how this is going to extend forever to the, this graph is forever in all directions. Cool. Let's look at, I want to really look at number 3 together. Who can look at the system on number 3 and come up with a reason why they think I want to look at number 3 together? Anybody got a reason? Yeah, the lines are parallel lines. So, how do we know they're parallel? Same slope. So my two lines are, or inequalities technically. Did I shout out Susie yet? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. All right. So first line, I got a y-intercept of 1, a slope of 2. Solid or dashed on this guy? Dash it up. I feel like Dash might be my rapper name. If I was a rapper. Okay. So let's see if the origin works. Is 0 greater than 1? No, so we're going to shade the side that is not the origin. All right. Let's get our second one going here. On my second one, I have a y-intercept of 3 and a slope of 2. And we can see it's parallel. Okay. And let's test the origin. Is 0 less than 3? Yep. So, below. And it's actually, I didn't do a great job shading my red. Are you guys seeing that? Where it should cross, actually? Let me fix that red shading. Red should be like all the way to that red line, right? So you guys seeing where things are crossing? Right in between them. Now, that's not always going to happen with parallel lines, guys. The reason it's happening is because the inequality is telling us that. There's that purple. There it is. Are you guys seeing that? Well, I'm just calling it purple. Okay, so some points that work look like 0, 2. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4. Let's go negative. Negative 1, 0 looks like it works. So I'm just pulling off some points. 0, 2 is right there. 1, 4 is right there. Negative 1, 0 is right there. So anything that's in that shaded region is going to work, right? So it's different than lines because lines are a point that they can intersect. These are shaded regions that intersect, right? All right, try number 4 on your own, and then we're going to go over it, all right? All right, guys, let's start checking it out. Let's do the first line first. Y is greater than 2. That's going to be dashed. It's going to be a horizontal line. And greater than 2 is everything above that line. Does the line work? Guys, does the line itself work? No. All right. The next one. You got a y-intercept of negative 1. A slope of negative 3. This one, guys, is going to be solid. Okay. Then, I always like testing the origin. You know me. So 0 is greater than negative 1. Is that true? Is it? Yeah, so I'm gonna go that side. And these two things cross in this region right here, it appears. Forever. Now let's pull some points that work, okay? So what's kind of cool about this is I'm looking at, do you guys see this point right here? Does that point work? Yeah, because on the line and the shaded region, right? So negative 1, 3 does work in this case. So on that line does work. What about right here on this line? No, that one will not work. Was a negative 1. Let's do... Ooh, I got a fun one. 572.43. That one will work. Yeah. That's a random number. Ooh, I got a fun one. What about this? Pi 5,227.
Yes.
That one works too. I'm picking some strangers, but pretty much what I'm saying is any point up in here forever. That is art, guys. Look for me art prize next year, all right? Anyway, anything in that region. What can you always do with an ordered pair once you get it to
Test it.
You could always test it. So check out my Y values. Are they all greater than 2? Yep. Okay. This is looking good, guys. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to finish up these notes. I'm going to throw a key up under the dot cam for the back page. And then homework's in the basket.